guys, and welcome to Nash Talk Network. Now, today, our guest today is a woman of so many titles. She needs no introduction. I have a privilege of hosting the president of Kwitu. She's a businesswoman. She's many things, and I'm just gonna let her introduce herself. Please welcome Lily to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please go ahead and introduce yourself. I'm pretty sure, yes, most women will watch and they know you, but there's one person that would be like, who is Lily?
Awesome. So yes, my name is Lily Richard Okech. Richard is my father. Okech is my father. I live here in Jersey. I didn't know you live here in Jersey. You live here in Jersey?
No, I live in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I live in Jersey, and I am, of course, a business person. I'm an entrepreneur here in the US and also in Kenya. So in Kenya, I have a consulting business, I have a concierge business, and I have my cosmetics business, Lavish by Lily, there in Kenya. And here in the US, I also have my Lavish by Lily here in the States. I'm also the founder and president of Kwitu and Kwitu Inc. Yes.
Wow, that's great. You know, it's one thing when you follow someone on the internet on Facebook, but it is another different thing when you have them on the same room. So this is a huge privilege to have you today.
Thank you.
So Lee, who is Lily out of Facebook and everything that we see out there? Who is Lily out of social media and the leadership that we see out there? Take us through a little bit about you.
Lily is a mom, yeah, and also I'm the kind of girl that cries at the movies. Okay, I know I wear some confidence and I'm always, but I'm also human. I'm married, and whatever mothers do, women, wives, I'm all over that. I am a good cook, a great cook actually. I'm a homemaker, you know, and I love doing, the DIY, do it yourself things.
Yeah.
I really do a lot with my hands. People would never believe that. And some of these things, when I do them, I post them, and they're like, what? So yeah, I have that on my sleeves, but also I'm very spiritual. Yes. And I'm all about creating positive spaces, my own space. I'll do anything. So long as it brings positivity to my life, yes, I'm doing it.
Wow.
Yep. So that's me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I was on one of your YouTube channel and then I saw a clip whereby you were giving us a little bit about how you got to the United States. Quite a fascinating story. If you can just tell us, go through how you came to the United States and what was the first thing that you hang on to for the first couple of years?
My story is out there. I did it also with Alex of Champs Media a little bit. Yeah, it's everybody has one. And for me, my expectations were so different. I don't even know what I was expecting. So coming to the States, my God, well, the first day alone was a whole shock. It was shocking because, I'm in Kenya where the cyber cafes all over the place, everything is, easy. And I come in here, my phone is not working, you know. Um, so I have lost my address, and my host has not shown up for more than 3 hours. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? If I had my address, I would just go to the cab and tell them, take me here.
Take me here, yeah.
So I started looking for a cyber cafe at the airport. My God, I was freaking out. It was such a crazy experience on the first day on arrival. And you start thinking, what are they gonna do to me?
Yeah.
If the nighttime comes and I'm still here, you know. So I went from terminal to terminal looking to see if there's a place I can just go in and use the computer. And everybody asks me like, oh no, everybody has their own computer on their phones. Like there's nowhere you can go sit and surf.
Yeah.
Because that address was also in my email.
Yeah.
So I couldn't access, and that was really one of my first experience here that really traumatized me. But thank God my host finally came. Yeah. So it worked out. But other than that, it was really scary being here because of always being alone. People are always working, and if you still don't have papers, you cannot work.
Yeah.
So you are left in the house all the time. So when you wake up, everybody's gone to school, to work.
Yeah.
When they're coming back, you're going to bed. So I was always on my own, you know. And being that I just came from Kenya, bado niko na zile tabia za kupiga dasta, you know,
Yeah.
kuosha vyombo, you know, I cook. So this, my host was always like, stop cooking here. Everybody
Yeah.
makes their own food. Nobody, you don't have to cook for anyone. I'm like, how? You know,
Yeah.
how can everybody make their own food?
Yeah.
Talking about, oh, you know, we only mop once every 2 weeks. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm from Kenya where I was mopping my house twice a day. How can we just mop once in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And you know, they would leave, but I would still mop. Okay, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And that woman, my host, oh, she remembers this stuff and she just tells me, you were just one in a million, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those are some of the things, but it was deeper than that because
Yeah.
when I was just a few days here, my uncle died, and this, you know, this is my father's brother, and you know, my father had died in the year 2000, and now he was like the other guy who was looking out for us. Now he's dead. I was so depressed. I couldn't go, you know, because I still didn't have my papers had not come through yet. I was so it was frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I realized that really when I started finding community, that's when my life really started in America because it was everything on your own, looking for schools. You don't know what to look for. You're looking for the hard way, everything, searching and looking for how do I get a loan? How do I get financing? All of that I did on my own. Even when I bought my first car,
Wow.
you know, I went to the lot.
Yeah.
I paid for the cheapest car I could find. It was, I think, 2,500. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, so you know, yeah. So it was really hard.
I know.
And you know, here, a car is a necessity.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Hapa hakuna matatu.
Yeah.
No matatu.
And so I had to learn how to drive here. I was already able to drive, but I had to take a driving school instructor for a day to have me get used to driving on this other side of the road and this other side of the car, and also there, you know, just being able to observe traffic rules and all that, get familiar. And then after that, I would get out of the house every night at midnight or 2 o'clock when everybody's asleep. Go get into my car and start driving. And it was really nice because, you know, it was at night, there's not too many people on the road, there's not too much traffic. So I would go to a highway, I would go to the parkway, I would go to Route 46. The parkway never has big trucks, those scare me. And I would just drive at night. And this is me practicing to drive on the highway because my husband told me you cannot go on the highway. Okay? Back roads only. So that's how I started getting on the highways and getting confidence. Until one day I took Route 80 and went all the way to the George Washington Bridge. And there was no turning back. I found myself in New York and I was like, whoa. I called 911. Oh my God. So the cops had to come and help me out, help me to turn around and go back home. So all you needed to know is your exit.
Yeah.
You stay on that road until you get to your exit, then you know how to get out. So that really helped me out because, hey, my host used to wonder, how are you so confident in driving? Dude, I've been practicing at night. You know? I'll be out there for 2 hours. Back by 4, I'm sleeping. Hey. So that was me.
That's quite fascinating. Oh my goodness. So Lily, let's get into Lavish by Lily.
Yes.
Because this is one of your business that is empowering us. It might be your idea, but this is where we find comfort, our lippy and your lippies and everything. Let us get through on the products that you sell and towards the inception of Lavish by Lily. How did you get it done?
Awesome. So, Lavish by Lily is not something that happened by accident.
Yes.
I've had problems all my life. Okay. I'm a girl with very full lips. All right.
Yeah.
And this has always been an issue. So I remember when I used to work in Mombasa, this Mzungu man would just stare at my lips and I'm like, hey, that's very uncomfortable. For me, it's not nice when somebody you can tell they're just looking. So I realized that I have to figure out how to break it so that my the illusion. So I started using darker foundation outside and lighter foundation in the middle, so it breaks my lips so that it doesn't look so. Because when I use one, oh my god, I used to have all this attention that I don't need. Uko job, but I was a hotelier during those days, my previous life. So then I started having issues. I'm like, why is my lips always dry? Why are my lips dry all the time? I didn't realize it's the lipstick until one time I wasn't going to work for about 3 days. I didn't have to wear lipstick and my lips just healed themselves. I was like, what? Maybe it's the lipstick. So when I started wearing lipstick and it started again. So I noticed the brown lipstick had something that was reacting because I started having little bumps. And then I stopped using it and those bumps disappeared. But also, it was this cheap lipstick that, so I continued looking for something that works. I realized I have very sensitive skin. I didn't know that lips can be sensitive, but I have had lots of problems. If it's not cracking, it's chapping. If it's chapping, it's bleeding. It's all this. So I try to use. I don't want to mention brands, but I'm the kind of person who. One time I did a blog about the lipsticks I have in my house. Mommy, I would have laid lipstick all the way there because every lipstick that doesn't work, I go back to CVS. All I'm picking up is lipstick. Let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. You think about it, I've tried it. Until something came. This I'm gonna mention. It's called Lip Sense. And I thought, wow, Lip Sense is God's gift to the world. It was expensive, and it comes, I think, three things. One is a moisturizer, one is a remover, and one is the lipstick itself. The kind of lipstick unaeka, and then something just goes like the way spirit just disappears. That stuff is to hurt. Oh my god, your lips pain, because that thing is rough on your lips. It's not. So it used to hurt. Oof, I gave up on that. I stopped. I stopped completely. I said no. And then I started using some Kenyan girl lipstick, which I invested. I used to go to Kenya and buy 20. And I used to blog about these things. The blogs are still up. Me talking about lipstick. And I used to buy 20, they used to sell them at 1,000 a piece. Unavaa your lipstick, you can't ignore. Yet your lip is heavy. There's something on my lip. All the time. You can't even. I don't know. I don't know if you've ever used those lips. It's heavy on the lips. Okay? And then if you come you start doing this. You start eating sand, stones, something, residue. Where are they coming from? And then this lipstick smells like chemicals, like chemicals. Like you smell it, just like it smells like something you're supposed to use to clean. I was like, wow, what am I going to? And then still leaves your lips really dry afterwards. So I decided to start a journey, and I enrolled into. I bought a course on cosmetics, and I took myself back to study. Yes, and this course was at I think Skills Academy. I think it's online. So I went through the course. I looked at all these things. It's a deep course because it tells you from the, where cosmetics started, how they used to make those old lipsticks, those days, until now, and how everything about cosmetics is there, compositions, what everything. And I realized, well, I'm gonna have to start going this journey. And so I was like, oh, I hear this is the best lipstick in the market, and this and this and this and this. So I put together all the expensive lipstick you can think about, including Anastasia. I don't think Anastasia is that expensive, but I used to hear it's really good. So I put them all there, and then I started researching what's in this, what's in this, what's in this. And I also realized a lot of work because even color, it could be Anastasia, but this color, what is in there is not in this color. Whoa, it was too much. But I was patient, and then I started learning how do you get someone like me get to make their own brand. And I did all that research until I realized there's a lot of opportunities out there. There's contract manufacturing, there's blah blah blah, there's a lot. So That's when I decided to, get serious. I told my husband, I need some capital. I need capital, and I need to set my own. He thought I'm crazy, by the way. He really did. He really thought I'm crazy. He did actually. I thought about it and said, okay, I've I don't need much. I just need enough to be able to make samples in the lab, test them, and keep making this because you can just, you have to test your product for a while. So I started getting, paying. You cannot have somebody make something for you for free.
Yeah.
I started paying for all that because you have to pay the labs, and paying for samples, and paying and testing and going back and testing. And testing is crazy because now you do whatever women do. Put one for lipstick in the bag, leave it there every day, all day in the sun, in the car. See, for some of these lipsticks they explode. They explode in your bag.
Yeah.
Some of them are in really bad, So the testing started. I started bringing my friends to the house. We test, all these products. They go home and I follow up. What do you think? How is it going? And they'll tell me, we did this until it was the perfect product I wanted.
Yeah.
It's not just lipstick, it's with all the other products. I also did product testing in Kenya with a couple of influencers. They sat down, they used my products, and they told me what they think. And I took all the feedback to heart and went back to the drawing board to fix some of the concerns that they had. Yeah, and so that's how my line was born. That's how my business was born, and it's premium, clean cosmetics. It is gluten free. It is FDA approved, hydrating, moisturizing, made in the US. This is good lipstick and good products, not just lipstick.
Yeah.
Talent products. And I did this purposely because I realized I could have paid any money for a good product. I could have paid the price. If I was going to pay all that money to buy lipsticks thinking it's a good product, then I would pay. I can pay for my product that is not going to hurt me. Yeah, I had been violated by products for so many times. I got tired of being violated.
Oh, wow.
So my product,
Yeah.
I stand by my product 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So, Lily, what has been the source of determination or the seed of empowerment for you to, to just start business? What was it?
I read somewhere that your boss is paying you to stay poor. Okay. And that resonated with me because, when you're working for somebody, you're working for a company, you have a salary, and you cannot step out of that salary even a little bit. How are you going to be wealthy? It doesn't happen. Even if you're saving half of that salary every month, it's very hard for you to become a wealthy person working for somebody. It's very hard. So I realized I need to do either start slowly, do side hustles, and then keep venturing out. And for me, I venture into things that make sense to me. Most of all my businesses are problem solved. That's how I start my businesses. I remember I just sat down and like, she's doing this business, maybe I should do it too. Never. Okay. So there was a time I was sourcing products from China for people, and it's because of what I had seen. It was very hard for people to get to source this stuff. They didn't know how to do it. So I went and learned, and I started doing it until I realized, okay, this is not my thing. Let me focus on these other things. Okay. So these issues I had with my lips had me go in and start my own company, my own cosmetics company. Issues that I had trying to work and with my family. You sending your brother to do stuff for you. You're sending your friends to do stuff for you. At some point, these people just start, disrespecting you, and they're like, "Oh, I have a life. I have work. Why do you think I should just be very I should prioritize your stuff? Why?
Yeah.
So not just me, many people, you give somebody money, they disappear. You tell them, go buy mom dawa. They go buy whatever. They're like, oh, so we buy her dawa na lalenja. And you're like, okay, fine. Then you give them money again. Now this is for dawa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I realized there was a problem. So I decided to create my company for diaspora people to be able to use professionals to help them do whatever services they need to do in Kenya.
Yeah.
And so my company, Premium Errands Global, does just that. You can get us to do any work for you. As long as it's legal, as long as it's not something shady, we do it. Yeah. So we've gotten so much. Like if I start writing the services we had, we've exceeded by. We do anything now, anything and everything that you can think about, including stepping up for you, going to Arambes for you, going to visit your kids for you, all these things. Yeah. And then my consulting business, it's okay. Through my consulting, I also do training and coaching. It comes from all these problems you see where diaspora companies don't understand diaspora people. And then this messes up business because diaspora people are very, very, we are very careful because we've been in these situations where people have taken advantage of us. And most of us are very ignorant about what's going on in Kenya. And those people there know this. So some of them is that your ignorance to defraud you or they take advantage of you because they know you don't know or you're not going to fly to Kenya to check, so you pay somebody to do stuff for you, they disappear, you pay somebody to take care of something and all these things. Sometimes you're working with a company, they're doing things the Kenyan way, the way they treat people in Kenya. But to us, since we've been out here in the world, we've seen customer service, we know what it is. And we're talking about world-class customer service. You're just seeing red flags. So I'm like, why the hell did I pay them yesterday and I haven't gotten a receipt? That's a red flag.
Yeah.
And then you all of a sudden you're sending an email, excuse me, you did not acknowledge my money. I need all my money back. I'm not going to do business with you. One person made a mistake and now the company is going to lose 2 million.
Yeah.
You see? So I noticed being in this space because I work with quitty women and women in general. I work with them, connecting them to investments at home. So I work with real estate companies. I work with other companies, for example, Maridadi Motors. So we invest in cars as well. So I go out there, I venture out, I vet companies that are very reputable, companies without scandals, companies that deliver, and then I connect them to our Kenyans here who need to invest back home. So through this, many women talk to me. Anything happening out there, they'll be like, Lily, I talked to this one and this is happening. This is normal. It's crazy. Like, it's not crazy, but it comes to a point where a woman asks me if they should in fact send money to this company. I talk to a company, they get in touch, they'll be like, Lily, so and so reached out to me. Is that the right person? That's how skeptical we are. And they have to keep checking with me. So through this, we talk a lot, and that's how I get to hear what's going on. So when somebody comes to you and says, oh, I was doing this, really, I cannot proceed because of this, and you realize this is a very stupid mistake. Really stupid. Like, how can this happen? Then you realize these people, there's a disconnect. They don't know how to handle us. We are not those people we're not in Kenya. We're not Akuna Matata, pole, 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 pole. No. We're like this. You see, I pay you, acknowledge. I pay you, receipt. This is up, I ask you a question, please don't take 24 hours. Talking to me, don't tell me good morning and it's evening. If you're telling me, if you cannot even know that I'm calling somebody in New York and in New York right now, it's this time. Really, why are you in business? You see, because that means you can call somebody in the middle of the night. Because where to you, it's morning, but to us, it's in the middle of the night. So for me and for most of us diaspora people, those are red flags. So I realized I have to do something. I had to go back to these people and tell them, listen, you're losing money because of very stupid mistakes, things that can be fixed. And I'm here, I'm going to help you fix them. So that's how I created my customer service training, and I customize it specifically for the diaspora clients. And I go into it specifically. I'm not teaching you customer service. I'm teaching you how to engage diaspora people like me. And then also I realized many companies used to call me, sit down, get me, talk to them, strategic advising for free. I realize my time is precious and I'm not going to keep doing that nonsense. So now you want to sit down, you want strategic advice, you make an appointment. I send you my invoice through my consulting company. You pay and I show up and you do whatever you want us to do. I give strategic advice, I give visibility, and of course, I do training. I also do coaching. Yes.
Ah, wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So I'm a problem solver.
Wow, that's great. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So let's now
Yeah.
get into the elephant in the house, and that is Kwitu.
Woo, that's the elephant. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because earlier on I didn't know the inception of it, but if you could take us through a little bit the inception of Kwitu and what encouraged you, to come up with such a big group of women, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and bringing them together.
Cool. Yeah, Kwichu is the love of my life. If you think I've been passionate about anything,
Hmm.
Kwichu is what I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kwichu is an idea whose time had come.
Hmm.
Coming to the States and then just realizing how you can't even walk outside the door and sit with your neighbor on the
Hmm.
staircase like we do in Kenya
Yeah.
is whoa. I remember one day my sister, when my sister came here,
Mm.
she was only like a week old and she's like, Lily, I'm bored, I'm bored. I'm gonna start asking these neighbors if I can clean for them in the pain. I said, are you kidding me? You're gonna start walking towards somebody's driveway and somebody's
Drive.
gonna show you a gun or they're gonna call police.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. This is America.
Mhm.
Where? So like even most sometimes you go into the same door like here. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many neighbors I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's normal.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's normal. In fact, I realized that my neighbor across the street was a Kenyan woman, and I didn't know. And it was very shocking. We found each other in Fiji. So what I'm trying to say is that there's always that disconnect. There's always the need for community,
Hmm.
and that's what Fiji comes to solve.
Hmm.
So coming here, of course, the loneliness,
Hmm.
and you cannot underestimate loneliness. Loneliness
Yeah.
is powerful.
Yeah.
People die because of loneliness.
Mhm.
Because sometimes you're going through stuff, you get depressed, you retreat, you go through, and at some point, we find you dead in your house 5 days later.
Yeah.
And it has happened to many Kenyans in here.
Mhm.
Because when you're dealing with this depression, you're dealing with all this alone,
Mhm.
it's very difficult. And so you fall through the cracks for some of us. And that's why you hear people are going to America, the land of opportunity, and they're homeless. How are you homeless in America?
Yeah.
Where there's jobs everywhere, there's everything. You can get access, there's access.
Mhm.
But you're homeless because maybe you don't have people to guide you, or you ended up with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
So there was a need, and especially for me, it was hard, man. When it's hard, I don't even know which story to tell you. Like when
Yeah.
I went to university,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
I failed a management class that I wasn't supposed to fail. I'm a smart woman.
Yeah.
And the reason I failed that first class is because I didn't know I'm supposed to be logging into something called Blackboard and doing those assignments. So that guy failed me purposely because I was not logging in and doing his assignments on Blackboard.
Oh,
That thing shocked me. I was like, like how? I was getting A's in economy, what, statistics, but that was way after. Now I knew what I'm supposed to do, so I had to learn the hard way. Because after that, now I was this Blackboard thing. I was on Blackboard all day, every day. So I was, so it's things I learned the hard way. And also, like even looking for a job, you cannot go to a company and be like, hey, I'm here, I want to see the chart, I want to leave my resume. No, I had to learn how it works here the hard way. So so Kwitu pretty much was to help us so that anybody else coming in here shouldn't go through this, shouldn't have to start from scratch. The people who came to America before us, sometimes I feel like they failed us somehow. Because if they had set up something for us when we come, just fall into like, some kind of, I can be alone, but I have a whole community with me. I can go online and talk to people and learn a lot of things. That is pretty much how I felt that somehow somebody failed me. Okay, even though they don't owe me anything. But we're not failing the new generation of people who are coming, because now there's Kwitu, you have a place to go. So Kwitu is here because of one, to connect women. support
Yeah.
and to empower women.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great. So I know Kwitu consists of so many, powerful women, doctors, nurses, you name it.
Yes.
Director, very wealthy women,
Wealthy.
Some,
We have millionaires.
Yeah, I know.
Many of them.
I know.
In
So,
dollars. All of
yeah.
us are billionaires in shillings.
I know.
In dollars.
In dollars.
Yeah.
What has been the source or the pillar of your strength? I mean, leading these women. And of course, in the midst of such powerful people, we always have that other part, the negative ones.
Yes.
Just they always want to see the other negative side of this story. What has been the pillar of your strength leading these women?
Let me tell you something. You're right. In fact, when I started, I was like, well, will I be able to do this? But you see, this group didn't start because I was trying to emulate something or I was trying to make up an imaginary life or whatever. I just really created it because I felt like people needed a place. So I say this all the time. When we go into Kutu, it's the equalizer. Okay. I don't care if my husband is a billionaire. I don't care if your husband is a billionaire. I don't care if you don't have papers, you don't have a job, you are a babysitter or you're an accountant. When we come here, it's just women connecting. Okay. But if you feel that being an accountant can help somebody, then please put it on the table. How can you help somebody? What can you do to help somebody? Post it. So for me, where my pillar really is two things. My mom lost we lost our dad in the year 2000. So my mom had to carry on with us alone. I'm the first boy. You can imagine what that does to you. And at that time, my brother was in high school, my sister was in high school, my little brother was in primary. If I tell you there was a time I was working, one paycheck goes to Kenya, and one paycheck is what I used to pay bills here. Because you step up and you become an adult. I started becoming an adult because my dad died when I was 19. Okay. So I had to step in this and grow up really fast. When I finished college in Kenya, I didn't go back home. To do what? I went to look for a job. I had never been to Mombasa. I just had to go. That's why there's hotels, and I'm a hotelier now. I have to go look for a job. And my mom looked for me for days because at that time we didn't have mobile phones, or only rich people, really, really rich people had them. She looked and looked for me until one time somebody who knows my uncle told her that they know where I am. One day she just surprised me when she came to my place. I cried that day. And I told him, Mom, what did you expect? Me to come back and start asking me for money, for my hair, for you're alone and you have children, you're paying school fees. I had even offered to quit college so that my other siblings can, at least make it through high school. And she refused. She said, I will sell the last cow your father left before you quit. Okay. So that's how, that strength, I always had it. And the other thing is God. I'm a very spiritual person. Mimi, I tell people all the time that I have never prayed and God has failed to answer me. I'm the kind of woman, I'm faced with a mountain like this, I will retreat and go into fasting. I can even fast 8 days. 8 days, no food. Because the way I do it is I fast until something happens. And I come out of fasting with such clarity, it's crazy. The last time I fasted was for something. This is a story I'll just tell you one day off camera. After I fasted for that, actually at that time I fasted and I was doing a novena. This is a whole other ball game, okay? Mommy, after fasting, I was in so much peace. So much peace, even though I wasn't supposed to have peace. This was a certain situation. My friends had left. They don't want to be dragged into it. I was on my own with two ladies who stood with me. And I'm talking federal court issues. And when I did that fasting, I was in so much peace. It was like, wow, I'm going to Dubai. I'm not gonna sit here be depressed about what God already took care of this. And guess what? All that just
Yeah.
So one day you want to hear the story, look for me. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm never afraid.
Mhm.
I don't doubt myself. I'm very confident in what I do because I realize I'm doing it with a very clean conscience.
Mhm.
I'm doing it out of love. It's not something I'm forcing. And I always know in everything, God is the one who makes everything possible. It's not even me.
Yeah.
I even go back sometimes when I'm like, God, if this thing really is not you, please take it away. But you
Yeah.
see, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I still love what I'm doing, no matter what happens. And you've talked about that. You talked about the pushback. You know, it's always been there. And I've always survived it because I've never tried to be someone I'm not.
Mhm.
And the love I have is genuine for what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much what, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. Kutu has amazing women
Yeah.
from all over, all walks of life. There's a lot of like,
I
somebody
know.
talks and you're like, whoa,
I
you do
know.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Lily, let's get into challenges because everything that is beautiful out there has challenges and failures. I know you're a young leader, and leading these people has its challenges that comes out in terms of even business and even right now in terms of living Kwitu. What are the main challenges that you have gone through and the struggles, and what have you and what has really been there for you to what have you been hanging on to?
Okay. So challenges, let me talk about in the cosmetics industry first.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest one is COVID, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
because when the COVID happened, oh my God, there was no business,
Yeah.
literally,
Mm-hmm.
because who's buying?
Who is
Nobody's going.
buying?
Like people are
Everybody's
wearing
indoors.
masks. Yes, nobody. So my business suffered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I believe many businesses such as mine suffered.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I used that time to go back and think about, what I can do to make my business better. When things start running again, I'm able to, compete. It was a really good time to reflect. And also that I used that time. That's when I was running around trying to set up Kenya. It was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I used it to also expand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on this other side, um, on the Kwitu side,
Mm-hmm.
I've had so many challenges. You know, some people will look at you and think, hmm, why you? Why are you the leader? Why did it have to be you? And just by the fact that it's you, that's a problem. Okay, some people would look at you and literally treat you like basically decide you're not the right tribe to be a leader. And people ask me, why do you go by Lily Richards? Yeah, I go by Lily Richards because I want when you start engaging me, you don't know who I am, what I am. And then once you know me, you now find out exactly, you know, oh, she's a Luo. Okay. Oh, but, you know, I don't do tribal issues. And one of the challenges is some of my Luo friends started calling me out, for being a seller. How? Yeah. So some of those challenges in tribalism, and then you start facing opposition from people who are basically literally trying to drag your everything you've worked so hard for down. And other people just who don't like you in general now, you start getting all this drama on the internet, on Facebook, your name all over the place. I have a whole production that's coming based on the bullying that happened to me.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot wait for you to see it. So I have been severely bullied. And when I say severely bullied, is the kind of bullying where at some point you go to bed praying you don't wake up. Okay. And that was earlier on when it started. Yeah. When it started, it was too much. It was too much. It was so difficult for me. It was hard. I would, my husband would used to wonder what to do with me. And, he would take me out. We go to a place. He would buy me booze. I would just drink myself like so much. Like literally, I wanted to drink and black out all the time. And then you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, everything that will happen is still happening. It's still real. No, you have to face it again. Well, but after a while, I realized that everything that is thrown to me in a negative way, I can actually use it for my advantage. I can use it for positivity. And so I told myself, in every negative thing that happens, I always look for the positivity in it. I'm not going to dwell in the negativity.
Mhm.
And at the same time, there's just a handful of people opposing and trashing me and all these things.
Mhm.
A handful. But there's thousands of women who support me, who really care about what I'm doing. So what's the point of going down with just a handful of people?
Mhm.
you know and I started counseling myself. I started talking to myself. I started revamping myself, giving myself the energy. And so the things that people would say, oh, sijui kitu ni kuchanga pesa wanada, oh, so we say yeah, kutuma pesa, actually started calling us kutuma pesa as an insult. And I said, yes, we are kutuma pesa, we are rich women, and we have money, so why not? So we took the name and owned it. Kutuma pesa is us. I remember going live and telling these women, yes, now we are going to be officially Kutuma pesa. That's our slogan. They got so mad because they thought that's gonna pretty much ruin our image, ruin our brand. We owned it. And so I had a situation where somebody was mad at me because I was in Kenya. My friend had a birthday party for her mom at the Intercontinental or Continental Hotel.
Mhm.
She had taken a whole suite. And I remember going in there and I was taking a video. I took a video to make sure the seats are sweet and leaving Kenya and take up our Instagram stories. And I remember saying specifically, you wait and see the fire that's going to come out of this. Mommy, the following day, where he was in Kilimani Moms, he was everywhere. Oh, Lily Richards misappropriates funds. She takes funds, blah, blah. She's spending quitting money in Kenya. She's paying for suites. She's doing, they even said she's out there with her daughter. I'm like, oh, okay, are you trying to set me up? So with my daughter, what do you want? Anyway, she's living a lavish life. That's how I picked up that. I figured if you're my enemy and you hate me so much, but you can acknowledge that I'm lavish, okay? You can acknowledge that I'm huge, like, you know, then that is God speaking. That's God. So I'm gonna listen to what God is saying through your bad mouth.
Mhm.
And I'm going to take what works for me. And that's how Lavish by Lily became my brand. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, from all that. And I said, that's what I've picked. That is me. You are right. I'm lavish. You're right. You see? And they would say things that, like, I'm like, am I really God? Things that I don't even have power to do. And they are saying I do this thing. And like, these women really think highly of me. It's like they're trying to think very low of me, but it's the other way. Because if they're saying I see someone who and you to do what? How? Me? Where did I get the power to do that? Maybe I should have the power to do that. You see, the other day somebody was talking and saying, oh, Lily Richards, you cannot sit down with her. You have to give her 1 million shillings for her to sit down with you. How do you think my consulting business came about? I heard that stuff and I was like, wow, so much lies. But I said, wait a minute, wait a goddamn minute. I'm doing it for free, and somebody's talking out there saying I'm doing it for 1 million. Where have I been? I said from today, you're not sitting down with me for free. Nobody's sitting down with me. If you're a company, you are representing a corporation, you are here because you want to reach a certain destination that's going to bring you a lot of money, you're paying me for my time. See how it works? So the hate made me. I used that hate to grow.
To grow, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It fired me up so much.
I admire your resilience and how, you came out of that. It's very hard, especially
Thank you.
dealing with women,
Oh, mommy, thank
Sometimes
you.
we can be soft and we can be a huge problem. My goodness. Wow.
Thank you.
So in the midst of all this, that you have gone through with all these women, of course you have women that look up to you. Like I can say my example, I follow you on social media and I like the posting that you, because I'm an aspiring business entrepreneur, so I like venturing into that. I'm just trying to grow myself.
Yes.
So, what is the main advice that you can talk to aspiring women who would like to be in leadership, and what is the source of strength that you can send them to, in order, in order to stand amidst every challenges and amidst every struggle that tries to block them?
Right.
Yeah.
What I would tell somebody is they need to be very intentional. Many people, especially we Kenyans, get in business for all the wrong reasons. I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Mhm.
unaweza toka hapa uanze kuuza kitunguu right here and your neighbor is like, oh, unaunda pesa mingi hivyo juu ya vitunguu. Then they start selling kitunguu right there. You know, I'm not saying there's not enough space for everybody. There is. But there's a problem here because why are you selling vitungus? Is it because your neighbor is selling or because it means something to you? You know, your neighbor could be selling vitungu because she has a huge family of vitungu somewhere or she knows something that you don't know. People start businesses for the wrong reasons. You have to be very intentional. Look into you and think about what really you want to do and go and do something that entertains you, makes you happy, something you can thrive in so that you don't always feel like my business is a job, you know?
Yeah.
I love what I do. For me, it's not stressful. I feel like it's just what I've been doing all along. It's just that now I'm making money out of it. You know, it comes in naturally, and I would basically let people know that once you've made a decision to do business, you have to understand that business is a living, breathing thing. It has to be fed. It has to be nurtured. It takes your time. You know, you cannot just have a business and then you start pretending that this business is not here today. So today I'm sleeping all day. I'll sleep tomorrow and then wake up on Thursday. What's gonna happen? You know? People start business and they don't realize this is a thing you have to keep nurturing. It's a date, it has to exist. So be very intentional, always know who you are. Because people are drawn to who you are. If you start acting like you're somebody else, they'll be like, who's this person? You know, and you'll start losing customers. Sometimes even you know, who you are is good. It helps you figure out who's my target, audience. But if you're going to say, me, I'm going to act like Karo Mtoko because she's this and that, and then one day you are, no, honey, no. Caro is Caro. You're you. You have to just be you and figure out now, how do I use myself for my own advantage? Because this is about me. It's my business.
Yeah.
Yes. And take your business seriously. People have a problem to people don't like, they don't realize that when you actually start a business, you're an entrepreneur, you're real. Unauza mboga and you act like selling mboga is beneath you or is not a real, like people don't respect me because I sell just mboga. But let me ask you, if you don't sell mboga, how are we gonna eat? Where are we gonna get this mboga if we need it? So I think people need to understand once you go into this thing, you have to love it and you have to own it. So brand yourself properly. Talk about your business, to people. Be passionate about your business. Don't look at your business and compare yourself to another business and you're like, oh my God, I'm just a little business, blah, blah. No, you're a big deal. Even if you're a small business, but you're a big deal. You're in business and that's what matters. So people need to start doing that. People running businesses kienyeji, even here in America. Mtu anaenda tu kwa jikoni anapika chapati na anarusha hapo kwa internet. Yes, you can do chapati, but mommy, brand yourself as a chapati person. As I said, I know I come sometimes with my outfits to preach. I'm like, hey, I'm a hawker. Today I'm hawking. Fine. But it doesn't mean I don't take my hawking seriously. Mommy, I take it very seriously. And so people need to start respecting what they're doing because actually you're building something. And you see, for me, I look at it this way, like Lavish is not even just for me, it's a business I leave to my kid. Okay, so I have to build this business so that when my kid comes to age, there's something for her to continue the company when I'm gone. So even if it's mboga, even if it's chapati, whatever it is, do it knowing that this is something you have to grow, you have to own, you have to nurture, you have to love. Give it respect. Be good to your clients. Yes.
Oh,
you know.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think, yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lily, and thank
You're
you so much
welcome.
for accepting this invite. I was totally humbled by your acceptance. I mean, I didn't know you're this humble. I mean, there's another side of this lady. She's very humble.
And I tell
Yeah.
people, if you don't humble yourself, God will humble you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.